the sense of security and sense of freedom that brings the joy and happiness into the minds of the people. The leading nations in the world, they offer to their citizens the sense of freedom and the sense of security all throughout. That makes people think differently. As you think, when a great leader establishes a kingdom, he tries to fortify his kingdom to protect from all kinds of enemies. He tries to deploy either security personnel at the entrance of the fort to make sure that the kingdom is safe. But when a thief or the enemy wants to get into that kingdom, it has either to jump over the forts or to destroy the fort to get into the safe kingdom. If anyone wants to get into that kingdom, they can only get into through the gates to reach in the kingdom. In the book of Genesis, chapter 1, we see that God has created the world and give an order into that world. All the humans were kept safe, made them to be safe in that enclosure. But the selfishness of the people and in the egoist nature that brings sin into the world, and all the people were scattered from the safe enclosure that God has given into the humanity. We are in the fourth Sunday of Resurrection. There we have got the Gospel of St. John chapter 10 verses 1 to 10 for the reflection. As the narration goes on, Jesus as the Good Shepherd, it goes back to the prophecies of Prophet Ezekiel. In the book of Ezekiel chapter 34, it explains who is the true shepherd and who is the false shepherd of the Israel until now. God is the true shepherd, and it narrates that as shepherds seek out their flocks when they are among their scattered sheep, so I will seek out my sheep, I will rescue them from all the places to which they have been scattered on a day of clouds and thick darkness. God alone is the true shepherd that is being narrated by Prophet Ezekiel. In the book of Psalm 23, it also says that God alone is the true shepherd and we can have all trust in Him alone. So it connects to the figure of speech that Jesus explains in chapter 10 of St. John verses 1 onwards. We see that this is a fulfillment that Jesus is the true shepherd. Jesus is the good shepherd and He brings all His sheep into the safe sheepfold and bring harmony and peace into the world. Here, Jesus narrates with a figure of speech that says Jesus is the good shepherd, and He explains the characters of the good shepherd. The good shepherd, he gets into the sheepfold through the gate. When the shepherd comes, the gatekeeper opens the gate for him and the shepherd gets into the sheepfold. When he calls the sheep by name, they listen to him and obey what he tells to them. But in case if any stranger gets into the sheepfold, then the sheep will not follow the stranger. Jesus says that He is the gate, and if anyone wants to get into the sheepfold, they can only get into through the gate, that is through Jesus. Jesus also warns with what is the nature of a thief. He says that the thief comes only to steal, kill, and to destroy. As this figure of speech proceeds, Jesus makes it clear that why He had come to the world. Jesus says that in the chapter 10, verses 10, He says that I came that they may have life and to have life in abundance. This is why Jesus explains why He has come into the world. As the chapter proceeds, Jesus again explains in the narration of the resurrection of the Lazarus. There Jesus declares himself that I am the resurrection and I am the life. Again, in the 14th chapter, verses 6, Jesus again make it clear that I am the way, I am the truth, and I am the life. If anyone wants to reach to the Father, they can reach only through me. My dear brothers and sisters, Jesus tries to explain to us through this figure of speech that Jesus has come to the world to bring life and to give the life in its fullness. In this figure of speech, Jesus narrates about three characters in this. First of all, it is the shepherd. Shepherd is the one who enters into the sheepfold through the gate. He is ready to sacrifice his life to safeguard the sheep. Secondly, it is the hireling. Hireling, one who is hired to do the menial work for the shepherd. When there is a situation of danger, a situation of the wolves or the robbers, the hireling try to run away to save himself. The third character, they are the thieves, robbers, or the enemies. They try to get into the sheepfold through another way. They come only to steal, only to kill and to destroy. So the shepherd is lovable, the hireling is tolerable, but the robbers, they must beware. St. Augustine agrees Jesus as the shepherd as well as the gate. He narrates it that in the head he is the door and he is the shepherd in his body. That is, Jesus is everything to the sheepfold. Then, who is the shepherd? It is you or me? We have to reflect on this special situation of the world right now. All of us are called to take the role of a shepherd in this world right now. Especially all the world leaders, all the leaders of the organizations, all those who are fighting against this epidemic, all who have in the forefront, especially in the medical field, they all have to take the role of shepherd at present. It does not limit with them alone. It goes even each head of the families, they have to take the role of a shepherd to safeguard their own people in the families. Either we have to be a responsible sheep or responsible shepherd in every circumstances where we are right now. Let us give our trust on the good shepherd, the true shepherd, Jesus Christ, so that all of us will be safe and secure in this difficult life situation at present. Wishing you all a safe and secure time in this week also. May God Almighty bless you.